Welcome to another podcast. Thanks for joining us. If you want to know more about all things BamaSound, just go to BamaSoundmedia.com, BamaSoundmedia.com. And our guest today is the wonderful Cameron Dubois.
Hello.
She, besides being a fantastic singer, songwriter, and guitar player, she is a large part of the BamaSound ecosystem. And it's great to have you.
Thanks for having me.
It's
Glad
kind
to be here with you.
It's kind of weird because we spend a lot of time together.
Yes.
But since we're not on the road, we don't spend a lot of downtime together.
That is true.
So we're always there's always work happening whenever we're together, and we're not really hanging out.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to just sit and talk.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
This will be fun.
So, Cameron, so what's it like being you?
Cool. I don't know.
That was a joke. But I want to start with your name.
A lot.
I want to start with your name. Because Cameron Dubois, it almost sounds like a stage name.
Really?
Yeah. But
is it the first or the last name or both?
the last name, Dubois.
Oh, yeah. Dubois?
Yeah. But it's actually your real name.
Mm-hmm.
French?
Yes. Yes. My grandparents were, both of them were French. In fact, they both spoke French. My grandmother, she spoke very little English. And
Really?
that's my dad. Yeah.
So, do you speak French?
I wish. I want to learn so bad.
Wow.
But I feel like it's too late for that. Or maybe it's not too late.
So, are you up on your family history? How they wound up stateside?
You mean in Alabama or just like...
Or just in the United States?
Oh, in the United States. Yeah, so actually my aunt, she kind of traced our ancestry back all the way to Paris, France, I believe. And they migrated over here to Canada, and then in Canada, they came down to the New England area. So my grandparents, they both lived in New Hampshire. But my dad, my grandfather was, he was in the Air Force. And so they were traveling constantly, living in all kinds of places. And they ended up in Alabama. My dad was, I think, in middle school, I want to say. He may have been high school. And then they moved away, and him and his sister moved back here to Alabama. And that's kind of what brought him to Alabama.
Wow, that's cool that you know all that. I got a Canadian connection as well.
Okay.
My mom's side of the family is blue blood English, and
Really?
I have a great something or other that fought in the Revolutionary War. He was an officer.
Oh, right. Wow.
For the colonial side, and when the war was won, he believed that there should be tax reform, but he also believed that we should remain under the British flag. So when the war was over, he hightailed it up to Canada.
Really?
Yeah, and then her side of the family just kind of matriculated down from there.
Okay.
So, cool.
Wait, so where did you grow up? Is that, you said that's your grandparents or your, who's that?
Oh, just way back. My mom's side,
way back.
Yeah,
Okay.
my mom's side of the family has been traced back to the fifth century.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was a Spencer of the Princess Diana Spencers.
Oh, that's
in England.
interesting. That's cool.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's me.
Okay.
But this is you. But this is about you. So I know your mom and dad. They're both sweethearts.
Yes, they're good as gold.
I love your mom and dad to death. Yeah. Siblings?
Very supportive.
You got siblings?
Yes, I got a brother, older brother, and a younger sister.
So you're in the middle.
I'm the middle child.
That explains a lot.
Yep, it does. Yeah, my brother, he's about 3.5 years older than me, and my sister, me and her are 18 months apart, so we're like really close.
Yeah.
But we're like polar opposites. Like personality and look. Well, people say as I've gotten older, as we get older, we kind of favor more. But growing up, you would have never thought she was my sister. But we were besties.
I'm in the middle as well.
Really?
And the middle kids are always vying for attention, and that's part of what makes us do what we're doing now, I think.
Yeah.
Any music in your family?
My dad sings.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Oh, when he was growing up, like, he loved getting on the stage with the bands and singing.
No kidding.
Really. He's got a good voice, pretty good voice.
I'm going to have to remember that.
His favorite band was Leonard Skinner. So he can really carry a tune when it comes to that. And then my mom, she probably would kill me for saying this, but she's a very shy person. But I would always, growing up, I would like hear her, just humming and stuff. And she really has a really good voice. And she can play piano a little bit too. But other than that, it's just me.
Yeah.
My brother and sister don't play.
So what planted the bug for you to get into this music thing?
You mean
early on?
Early on?
What was the thing that made you first think, man, I want to do this?
Okay, well, I've grown up in the Taylor Swift era, and I just thought it was so cool, like her playing guitar. Like that kind of inspired me at a really young age. I was about 12, and my parents, they got me a guitar for Christmas, and it was just like a little, cheap old guitar, like from like Target or something like that. And I don't think they ever thought I would really actually like play it. But I actually spent many, many days just in my room for hours on end teaching myself how to play.
Yeah. That's what happens when you love it.
Yes.
You're with it all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. When was the first time you played and sang in front of somebody else?
Ooh, all right. First time I was in 5th grade, and I forget what the name of the play we were doing, but I tried out and I actually got one of the solo parts, and I was a nervous wreck. But that's the first time I ever sang in front of a crowd. But after that, like, I wouldn't sing for anybody. Like I was in my room for hours, I would be singing to myself, and like I would not play for anybody. I wouldn't sing for anybody. And the one thing that kind of got me out of my shell was my senior year. It was Junior Miss, but now Distinguished Young Women. And one of the things that you have to do is a talent. And I got up there and played Imagine by John Lennon and sang that. And that's the first time I've ever sang in front of like an audience for real. Wow. So big early on in 5th grade. And then this whole gap, I was like super, super shy. I wouldn't sing for it. I'm nervous wreck to do anything like that. And then senior year, and I was a nervous wreck then too, but.
That's a cool song choice for your first.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, what was the song that I sang in 5th grade? It was a country song. I'll have to get back to it. I got to think about it.
I think I'm going to have to hand hold this microphone. I'm tired of having to.
I think what that song was called. Dang it. Oh,
Now I can relax.
There you go.
Yeah.
Feel better?
Yeah, I do feel better.
Can I have this dance for the rest of my life? I can't remember if I think it's Can I Have This Dance, but that was the first song I ever sang.
Yeah, I think
country tune.
Yeah. So, were you a country girl from the jump?
Actually, yes. I grew up on all kinds of stuff. Like I said, my dad, he's a big Southern rock fan, so I grew up on a lot of like, it's Leonard Skinner for sure. That's his favorite band. Eagles, a lot of Beatles. But so that was like my early on influences. But as I got older, like country too. We've always been a like country music fan, especially 90s country. But as I got older, I kind of dipped into other types of music. I loved R&B music.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really cool stuff. So, but I
you
feel
can hear
like
it in your singing.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's good because I've always said I wanted to have a little R&B in my style.
So, all right. So we're in high school, right?
Mhm.
So are you playing and singing fairly regularly at this point?
Oh yes, I still play a good bit around town and
No, I mean in your high school days.
in my high school days.
Yeah.
Oh no. I never
That was the shy period.
That was the shop period. Yeah, there was a big gap. Like I wouldn't even play guitar for anybody. The thing that kind of got me out of my shell was when I sang for Distinguished Young Women,
Right.
and people came up to me and said, "Wow, like they really enjoyed it," and they told me that I should think about pursuing it while I was in college. But high school, I just learned to play and sang to myself.
So when did you start going out for gigs and actually trying to make a little money doing this?
College.
You
Yes.
went to Auburn, right?
Yes, I went to Auburn. Yes.
Yeah.
And that was a great time. I started picking up, I want to say it was my junior year is when I really kind of stepped out. But like at first I was a nervous wreck. Like if I had a show, I would be just complete nerves all day. I couldn't enjoy myself all day, but slowly got more into it as I through college, and then did it full time for a long time.
Yeah.
After.
So this was solo stuff you were doing mostly?
Mostly solo stuff. I also played with an artist, Kirk J. He's from the Bay Minette area. We used to do a lot. We were working with the guy who was booking us for gigs, Rick Scott. He kind of put us together. We originally were going to be two separate acts, but then we kind of mixed it up and like kind of sang together. So we did that for a while, and then I did a lot of solo stuff.
When did you start writing?
For real?
Yeah. Or not for real.
I'm trying
When'd
to
you
think.
write
The
your
first
first
song
song?
I ever wrote was like probably some cheesy, corny love song I know back I was like 12, 13 years old.
See,
just like a love song, and I don't even know what love is at that point.
Come on, this is the good stuff here. This is the good stuff.
I don't even remember.
What was it called?
Oh, gosh.
Come on.
What was it called? It's been so long, Bill.
I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours.
I really don't remember the title. I want to know yours, though. I'm curious.
Yeah, I was maybe by the same age, 12 or 13 or something. It was called Slug.
Slug?
Yeah. And the premise,
I love that.
The premise was, I guess it was a breakup song.
Yeah.
Because the premise was how my girlfriend was reminding me of a slug.
Did you ever play
I
it
was
for?
12. I was 12, and no, I didn't have a girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't from life experience.
Oh, I thought it was like some like young love thing. I was like, dang, you thought she was a slug. Wow,
No.
That's funny.
No, I didn't have girlfriends until I started playing the guitar.
That'll do it.
Yeah. All right, so you wrote your first song, but for real.
For real, would it be, what was my first song? I started co-writing a lot in Nashville when I graduated. There, I co-wrote a bunch with people up there and also Muscle Shoals.
So that was your foray into songwriting, was co-writing with
Well, I had some of my own stuff. I take that back. I've had a lot of my old stuff. In fact, my mom, we were talking about it earlier. She wants me to bring back some of these songs I wrote by myself. But I was probably my first song was probably my junior year, I would say, in college. But I'm going to be honest, I can't recall the first song I wrote.
So how did you make the connection with these songwriters in Nashville?
So this is interesting, like shifting gears, like life changing. I was actually, I was getting ready to graduate, and I actually went and did an interview in Charleston for the same company I was interning for in Birmingham, but they had a job offering in Charleston. And I went up there and did the interview, and I thought that was going to be my future. I was going to move to Charleston and start working at that consulting firm. And my spring break, my senior year, I was singing in a competition in Tennessee. And we were just, every night they would do like a little jam session. So like all the artists would like come in, you'd sit around in a circle and you'd go around and everybody would play a song and everybody would like play or sing along.
Guitar pull.
Yeah. And I sat right next to this man. His name's Bernard Porter. And I didn't know. He was just sitting and listening. And I was saying, I believe it was White Liar by Miranda Lambert. And when I got up to leave, my dad was with me too. And he looked at me and he said, "Here's my card." He said, "I'm actually giving a seminar for this event this week." And he said, "Please come check me out. I'd love to talk to you." He said, "I really think you have something special." And so we went to a seminar. We really liked what he added. He kind of does artist development, kind of getting people out into the music industry to meet like people and connect. Yeah. And we met with him, and he said, "I come work with me." He's like, for a year. He said, "Just let me introduce you to some people and just see where it goes." And me and my parents talked about it, and they were, because a lot of parents aren't supportive when it comes to, if you want to chase a dream of music.
Right.
But,
especially with females.
Oh, yes. Yeah. But we sat down and we talked about it, and they were like, "Look, if you want to do this and give it a shot, like a real go, you can." And so I didn't take the other job, and I started doing music full time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know how rare that is? Especially when you consider the number of singers, songwriters, musicians that just pour into Nashville all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Looking for something, anything.
Oh, yeah.
That's a rare thing. And plus the number of predators in Nashville.
Oh, yes.
Who sort of prey
Con
on
artists, too.
Prey on
yeah.
hopeful musicians and artists and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a rare thing.
Yeah. Well, I never lived in Nashville. When I went to Auburn, I moved back home and lived with my parents for a while. But I was burning up the roads like probably twice a month, like back and forth for a few days, writing and all other things.
Who were you writing with?
Quite a few people. Britton Cameron was the first song we wrote together was Bridges. We wrote that one together. That was a co-write. And then I've written with Terry Jo Box. I don't know if you know her, but she has some songs with Miranda Lambert and Ashley McBride, who are big in the country world. Trying to think who else. Who else was I? Just so many I can't even think.
So how many songs do you think came out of those collaborations, roughly?
I would say probably for that year I was just going to Nashville strictly. I'd say probably about 50.
Really?
Oh, take that. I'd probably say like 40 something.
And we've only been doing a handful of those songs.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing with songwriting is like you get in a room and you'll have this idea and you really like it. And then when you go back and listen to it later, like another day, you're like, what was I thinking kind of deal? And so I feel like it's really interesting to see the beauty of songwriting in and out of itself is I don't think people really take into account that there's a lot of songwriters out there who are major artists now, and they may have a number one or they may have 10 number ones, but that's 10 out of like probably 5,000, 10,000 songs they've written over the course of their life. Yeah. But I did get a couple of good ones out of Nashville and in Muscle Shoals.
You got some really good ones.
Thank you.
The ones I'm familiar with.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, and Muscle Shoals. Mm-hmm. So you wrote with some Shoals writers?
Oh, yeah. Cindy Walker and Michael Curtis.
Yeah.
She was a Shoals sister. She did, yeah.
Yeah, I remember them.
Yeah.
I know them.
Yeah, we wrote, in fact, the very first song we ever wrote, we wrote Never Love Me Back and Peace in the same day.
Wow.
And it was the very first, because usually when you get in a room with people for the first time, usually you got to build up that chemistry, and it's probably like 4 or 5, co-writes before you get something that you actually, really enjoy. But those were 2. I mean, we wrote way more than that, but the first time we ever wrote, we wrote Never Love Me Back and Peace.
That's amazing.
Same day.
That's amazing. And your vocal performance, especially on Never Love Me Back, is spectacular.
That one, I practiced that high note. I probably haven't done that high note for real. It's probably been a couple of years, but Cindy, she was the one who coached me on how to reach it.
She's been doing it a long time.
Yeah. So we spent a lot of like vocal practices, like going over it, and
it's it's sad because that's really a good song. Lyrically, and it's a really good song.
Thank you.
It deserves to be heard by a lot of people.
Thank you.
And it's a shame that it hasn't been. I mean, we play it.
Yeah.
So the people we play for hear it.
Yeah.
But there's so much good stuff out there that never sees the light of day.
That's
really,
true.
It's a sad thing.
I know. Even working, because I did a little work with Teddy Gentry from Alabama, and we went in and some of these publishing companies, and we're just sitting around with where they play a song and you'll flip it and flip it and flip it till you find something, and there's a lot of hidden gems.
Yeah, there really are.
It's just crazy because you hear some of the songs, and I'm not like saying anything against today's music, but when you hear some of the things that are on the radio now, and then you hear songs that have never seen the light of day, you just think like, geez, how did this get up here? But
I think part of the problem is that there's so many people doing it, so many people trying to do it, that it's just the ones that make the big decisions, they're just overwhelmed by material, and they just don't hear it.
Yeah.
They just don't hear a lot of it. They don't have the opportunity to do anything with a lot of it.
Yeah.
Songwriting today is so different than it was for us.
That's another thing is like there are songs out there that'll be out. I mean, they haven't seen the light of day in like 10 years, and all of a sudden some bigger artist comes across it and hears it, and they record it, and then it's a number 1 hit.
Yep.
But nobody knows that song was like written like way beforehand.
Yeah. And so many songs now are written by, I've seen 8, 10 songwriter credits on songs, on modern songs.
Yeah.
You can program a drum beat and get a writer's credit these days.
That's true.
It did not used to be that.
I've heard, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that there's even in some co-writes, there's a person in there, they won't say anything. They'll listen to what everybody's coming up with in writing in the lines, and they'll be like, no, that's not the line. They'll just say yes or no, or find a new line. And
they're just an editor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So you've written these songs, and you got into a situation where you were able to record them. How did that develop?
Well, actually, I'm trying to think. We cut a lot of the track on my first EP. Why am I blanking on it right now? In not northern Tennessee, but north of Nashville, and it'll come to me in a minute. It's been a minute since I recorded. I was a baby, nervous wreck too.
You're still a baby.
Yeah. Oh, I hope so. But yeah, no, we cut all the instruments in north of Nashville, and I cut some of the vocals back at Wishbone and Muscle Shoals.
Yeah.
That's where we did a lot of our writing.
Yeah, that's where my session career started.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Long time ago.
That's really cool.
Long time ago. All right, so in those days, you were chasing the Nashville country music singer
Oh, yeah.
kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Shopping for record deal and all that stuff.
Oh, yes.
You had management and
Management, yeah. I worked with Pam Tillis for a while. She did both my photo shoots. She was she was a director on those. And yeah, I mean, I was up there all the time songwriting, and if not that, like just doing shows and developing more of my craft.
well, I'm kind of glad that things didn't quite explode for you in those days, because you're here with us now.
Woo-hoo. That's right.
So I'm grateful for that.
I am too.
You know.
Yeah.
You also did some really nice videos on some of these songs.
Thank you.
And I wanted to ask you. I mean, they're performance videos.
Yes.
You got a lot of charisma.
Thank you.
A cool persona on camera.
Thank you.
You really do well for the camera. Is that, does that come natural?
Yeah, it's weird. Yes, it does. And I don't, it's because once the music cuts off, like if you just ask me to like talk in front of a camera or anything or act, which this is more, conversational, which is a lot easier, but like just talking in front of a camera and, no, it's so unnatural. But as soon as the music starts, it just feels just so like I feel in my element.
That is so not me.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I've been involved in a few videos, and I've never been more self-conscious in my life.
Really?
Yeah. I'm paralyzed with nervousness.
That's shocked. That's wild.
Yeah, I'm kind of half paralyzed now with nervousness with the camera and all. But yeah, it's just something that does not come natural at all to me. So I really admire your ability there.
Thank you.
So you did some video. I think of you as the pre-BamaSound you and the post-BamaSound you. You did, how many videos did you do in the pre-BamaSound days?
We got Never Let Me Back, Lipstick and Chrome, Bridges, and Peace. I don't think. I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, The Home Place. That was my very first one.
So
that was my very first single.
That's 5.
Yes.
And then you've done a few more.
With BamaSound.
With BamaSound.
Correct. Yeah, Jack and... Yeah.
What was the toughest shoot?
Video shoot?
For which video, yeah.
Ooh, I would probably say this was the most fun, but I guess like the hardest was probably Peace. And I think that's because there was another actor in it. And it was kind of that interaction, like trying to make it feel like natural.
Yeah.
So I would probably say that is because Never Let Me Back was probably the easiest because we were just standing around a mic and playing piano. But probably Peace. But I had so much fun doing it once I finally got comfortable.
That's got to be weird, though. You never met the guy before?
Nope. We met like maybe the day or a week before, and I was like, "Yep, that works." And it's kind of funny about that shoot.
So he has to be like a love interest in your video, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
yeah, but I mean, and it was all like he was really cool and easy and chill, and he is very good with the camera. So I thought they did well. We did well with picking out the love interest, but one of the funniest things was, I almost killed everybody on that shoot,
really?
Including myself, probably.
How so?
Because I was driving my grandfather's 65. No, not the 65 Mustang. I was driving my dad's truck. Ford truck. And granted, I grew up in a little old Honda Civic, like tiny. Like I was used to basically being on the ground. And we were filming in it. And Josh, the director, he was filming. He was like, okay, now like look at me. And when I did, I completely dipped off the road. We had the makeup artist in there. She was in the back seat because he was just filming in the like, you know, the driving scene. And my parents were in there too. So I just about he killed them all. And he was like, yeah, how about no more car shoots? I was like, I'm good with that.
Yeah. All right. So Muscle Shoals.
Yes.
What was that experience like for you?
I really enjoyed it just because it's part of Alabama.
Right.
And just incredible to me, like how many hit songs, like massive hits for like these massive artists that came through that little town.
Yep.
It's weird. It's got like a little magic. Like, I don't know.
That's what everybody says. And, you know, there's something about that area up there. And it's probably the river.
Really?
Just the proximity to the river.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it is, but there's a vibe to that
It
area.
really is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just incredible because I didn't really know about it before growing up. Yeah, I didn't know much about it. And when I started working in Nashville is when the guy, Bernard, he introduced me to Michael in the Shoals area. He thought it'd be great since I am from Alabama. And it's just really cool just watching the documentary too. And you were a sessions player there too, weren't you?
Yeah, for a while.
For a while. That's cool.
For a while.
That's so cool.
Like I said, I got my. Is that the only place you cut? Was it Wishbone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's where I got my start doing sessions there.
Well, I did cut one in the Nut House.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is really cool because David Hood played on that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's what's so cool about working up there. Like you say, you know, there's the traditions.
Yes.
And just being in the same rooms where all this stuff, you know, where Aretha made records.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's
Etta James.
pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So, plus the musicians are great.
Yes, they're incredible.
You know, in Nashville, you got your choice of the best musicians on earth.
Yeah.
You know, and Muscle Shoals has that.
They have their niche.
R&B kind of.
Yes, and that's
thing.
another thing that I loved about it was the R&B vibe of it because like I said, growing up, I was I love country music. I love R&B as much as I love country music. So it was good to kind of bring that into some of my songs.
So your voice, one thing that's real that I love about your voice is your vibrato.
Thank you.
You've got it's pretty unique.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's you got this tight little wiggle in your voice that's really charming.
Thank you.
Is that something that you consciously developed, or is that just the way it just naturally comes out?
No, in fact, you know, with the vibrato, I feel like it's kind of hit or miss. Some people really enjoy it, and some people are like hold back on the vibrato. But like when I first started singing, especially like when I was nervous, that was just natural. That's just what came out.
Yeah,
I had to learn to kind of control it.
Yeah. Yeah, when I first heard you sing, I thought, well, she's listened to a lot of Dolly Parton because she has
She's
kind
got
of
a lot
similar
yes,
little wiggle in her voice. It's really neat.
Thank you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the wiggle in my voice is due to the nerves, and it doesn't sound as good.
Yes, it does. You got a great voice. You hit some notes that I couldn't even hit.
All right, so beyond Nashville and Muscle Shoals, you're now a major part of the BamaSound thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How, of course, there's Rick.
Yes.
Sort of the third.
Yes.
How did you connect with him? How did that happen?
He actually, he came out to, I think he said he came out to a couple of my shows, but I met him at one. And he he's just a solid guy. Like since the day I met him, I like, and he just came up to me. We sat down and talked, and he was like, "Well, we're looking for a singer for BamaSound," and he goes, "I would also like to, write with you." And so we ended up. He came to a couple shows, and then we ended up starting to write together. And geez, that started. It was pre-COVID when we started doing writing.
Yeah, y'all have written a bunch of songs. Like
over 200. He's such a prolific writer when it comes to lyrics.
And he's not shameless, but he's unafraid.
Exactly. And I love that about him.
He's unafraid.
Yes.
I think a big part of being a success at anything is not being scared to suck.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he does things that I would never, like, there's plenty of songs that I've written and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I could never show this to anybody because they would think it's like the most terrible song in the world. But like he when he writes, he shows it, and it's just, he's comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that he doesn't hold back, because me as a songwriter, I can tend to hold back, especially when it comes to lyrics. I'm more of a melody person.
Yeah.
That's really what I draw towards.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same way. It's like, I know this is not going to be very good, so I'm just not going to try.
Yeah.
But you got to wade through the bad stuff to get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So you start writing with Rick, and I guess I've been involved for what, 6? Did I come after you?
No, you were there because he was the one who introduced me to you. He said, yeah.
Okay. All right. And so we have recorded.
Yes.
Some.
Yeah. And in fact, our first song that we all three wrote together was
Bridges.
No, it was well,
that's the first
Ain't
one.
No Whiskey.
Yeah,
Bridges is the
first
one that
recorded.
you recorded, and you did a darn good job. Sorry, I'm not trying to.
I think we can say ass, can't we? We can say ass. That's not
I had to
so
hold
bad.
myself back. I was like, there might be children.
Yeah, I really like that song. It's quirky.
Thank you.
It's got some weird little twists in it that I just love.
Yeah, it's weird. Like some of the, now that I think about it, because like a lot of these people I've written with like multiple times, like me, you, and Rick have written like a lot as well. And I just think, like, now that I think about it, some of my first co-writes with just people for the first time is where these songs came out of.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah. All right, so we started recording, and it's not really country.
No.
Right?
And I'm good with it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Do
you miss the country aspect of stuff?
I feel like I still incorporate it when I sing a little bit.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
I think so, yeah.
I feel like there's still some twang in me for the most part, which that's just natural,
Yeah, that's just who you are.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, like, I love country music. But I love what we do too. I love to rock out, especially at live shows.
Yeah.
And I love how you produce Bridges.
Well, thanks.
It's really good.
That's kind. Thank you. All right, so we recorded the Cloverdale album.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have favorite songs?
Ooh. Off the Cloverdale album? I think I really do like, I love Ain't No Whiskey. I feel like it's like the most kick, darn it. I'm trying not to say anything here. I just think it just rocks,
She's trying not to say
man.
kick ass. I'll say it forward.
But it just, I love rocking out, especially with you. It's fun.
That's interesting. That's interesting to me because lyrically, it's not the deepest song in the world.
No, it's not. No. I would say that. Yeah, it's not.
It's more of a guitar-y, riffy kind of a song.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
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 Did you sing the crap out of it?
Thank you.
Yeah, I like it too. I like it. I like my tastes are so all over the place.
Yeah.
That's
kind of how I felt like, because I'd really like, like I said, I grew up with I feel like just so many different types of music. But I mean, always.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. So you are the primary singer
Mm-hmm.
with us. You sing the bulk of the material.
Mm-hmm.
But we have had a couple of guest singers.
Yes.
We've had Wyatt Edmondson sing Dig a Hole.
That's
Who
a really
else?
cool song too.
Who else?
We got Becky.
Becky, kind of, yeah, on an older track, and Steve Wingard
Steve Winger.
sing a
He's
song.
incredible.
Do you feel any sense of competition with other singers, or
I think yes, but I think because I can really get into my head, especially when I remember when we recorded the vocals for Bridges.
Yep.
Yeah, we recorded it. And remember that whole day, that first whole day, I couldn't get any good takes. And I think I'm my worst own enemy. Because once I get in my head, I don't know, singing live, it just feels natural. But it's like, as soon as I get in that recording studio, and I've loosened up now, but as soon as I get in that recording studio, I tense up and I can feel the tension because I want it to be perfect.
That's natural.
And when you want it to be perfect, you overthink it,
That's natural. I mean, live, you do it and it's done and it's gone.
Yeah.
But in the studio, you're doing take after take after take, and it's something that you're going to have to live with.
Oh yeah.
Beyond tracking day.
Oh
So it's a lot tenser. Plus, that was the first time you and I actually worked together in the studio, wasn't it?
That's true. Yeah.
So we were both sort of feeling our way around at that point. So,
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we went back we came back another day because we cut a bunch of I want to say we were in there for 2 or 3 hours cutting Bridges, and I couldn't get a take that day that I enjoyed, and then we came back and I think we knocked it out in the first 30 minutes another day, but we did get it. Yeah.
You got out of your
My head. Yeah.
Yeah. You stopped thinking about it.
And it was weird. It was also I didn't push so hard because Bridges are very I can tend to push my vocals with it. It's a hard song to sing sometimes.
Yeah.
But I noticed once I relaxed and didn't try to overdo it and over push, it felt and sounded a lot better to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is weird because I felt like I wasn't doing enough.
Well, that's the hard, it's just hard it's hard to relax.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Because you're thinking, well, okay, I want this to be good. We had never worked together before in a studio.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to impress you, and you don't know what I think about stuff.
Yeah.
At that
Oh
point.
yeah.
So,
I was a nervous wreck. I'm so nervous, especially because y'all are professionals, and see, I was I was just a little newbie coming in, and so every time I get
you're
around,
just as professional as anybody else, though.
Thank you. I feel like I've grown more. Yeah, but I remember the first time I ever stepped in that studio, and that was in we were actually recording in north of Nashville, but I stepped in there with all those people, and man, I just totally you wanted competition on I'm trying to think, what is it? I'm blanking on my stuff today. I don't know why, but what were we talking about? I totally lost my train of thought because I'm overthinking.
I don't know, but I'm going to say kick ass one more time. One of my favorite times working with you was when we cut the song,
yes. The Light. I really I really enjoyed
What
it.
was your involvement? Did you have involvement in the writing of? No, it was your melody and stuff, wasn't it, for that song?
For the light?
I just remember the demo that I got was you playing piano.
Yes. So Rick came to me with
you came up with sort of the hook, the instrumental hook.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. Yes, the instrumental hook, yes, but. Yeah. Rick, he came up with that melody for the most part. What I really added to was the bridge, the Shine On.
Yeah, okay.
That was
because I know that's a really personal song to him.
Yes,
it was about his mom.
And you want to talk about another favorite song? I love that song. I just like the meaning behind it. It just it really grasps and captures like that emotion.
Yeah,
I feel like really the way he and I wrote it. And he just, like I said, he's such a prolific writer. He has a way of pulling that emotion out with the lyrics.
Yeah, that song it's a heartfelt song.
Yes.
And it's a moving song.
Yes.
And I remember when we cut the vocal, I think I told you at one point to sing it like a Disney song.
Yes, you did.
That?
Yes.
It didn't work. I don't know if I used any of that, but yeah, it's fun. That's the fun part of working with you is just trying stuff. You know, we've gotten to know each other, and I think we trust each other.
Yes, absolutely.
In the studio.
I mean, y'all are the most comfortable. Working with you and Rick, that is the most comfortable duo I've been with. I don't know if it's because like we've worked together for so long, and like we all I feel like really mesh well. You know,
it's kind of become a family.
Yes, exactly.
You know? Yeah.
I'm not even going to remind you what you told me to sing for, or how to sing for In Between.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. Yeah, I told you to sing it like you were sitting in a hot tub.
Hot tub, yeah.
And it worked. It worked. It's the perfect hot tub song.
I really enjoyed that song. That was something different. I've never really cut vocals like that before.
That's what I like to do is, you know, I don't like doing the same thing twice.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and I don't know if that's a help or a hindrance. Mm-hmm. You know, because stylistically things go in a lot of different directions with us.
Oh, yeah, but I don't,
you know.
Some people would say it's a curse, and a lot of people would say it's a blessing. I feel like we kind of hit the map with, you know, everything between rock and country, and like that song is very like jazzy and alternative. I feel like we kind of hit all over the map.
Yeah.
Or try to.
All right, so we don't really play live.
No.
We do once every blue moon.
Yes.
We'll put something together.
Yes.
With a band. Do you miss it?
Yes.
Do you really?
I do.
You miss it a lot?
I do. I love playing with y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I really do enjoy? I really enjoy the strip down shows that we do over at Pine Bar.
Yeah, the little 3-piece things.
The 3-piece. I really enjoy doing that with you.
Yeah, and those have been, I've done a couple of those. Mm-hmm. And it's been you and Rick. Mm-hmm. And I'm blanking on the drummer's name.
Oh, you're talking about
Cajon.
Oh, Chuck. Maybe?
Chuck, yeah, Chuck man.
Chuck man, the man.
Yeah. It's been a minute since you've done one of those.
Yes. Yeah. We should think about doing another one. But I will say I really enjoyed working with. I mean, it's just incredible, like getting to play with like professionals, like in between Mark DePlanch on drums and Neil.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Ted White, he's a great bass player, and Saul. Remember Saul? He
was a great bass player too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a lot of talent right there, and I'm honored.
Yeah, I am as well. You know, I don't think I miss playing live as much as you do. Mm-hmm. I think that's just a more an age thing than anything else. Mm-hmm. You know,
I like
once once we're set up and we count off the first song and we're playing, mm-hmm. I absolutely love it.
Yes, it's
all the junk leading up to it.
Yeah,
I'm sick of.
Yeah, carrying in, breaking it down, the sounds of
the
song. Yeah.
That's right.
I don't know how y'all do that.
So. We need to to get back in the studio.
Yes, we do.
We've been so focused on the book thing lately
Mm-hmm.
that the music thing has kind of fallen off the back of the stove a little bit.
On the back burner a little bit.
Yeah. Are you and Rick writing recently?
Yeah, in fact, he sent me a co-write a couple days ago. We were going to meet this week, but I told him we were doing this interview, so we'll probably meet next week. But yeah, no, we're going to get back to writing because I missed it. I really have. I feel like it's been a minute since we've gotten to write.
I know. Well, we need to do more music.
Yes,
definitely.
Yeah, because I think over COVID we were writing a song like every other day. I feel like because there wasn't much going on then,
right.
Yeah.
I guess Cloverdale was kind of a COVID record.
Yes.
Wasn't it? Yeah. Well, got anything else? Are we good?
I think we're good. Solid.
Have we covered everything?
I feel like we have covered early on and
all right.
BamaSound.
All right.
Oh, my birth story? I was born in Rome.
Born in Rome?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yes. Rome, Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Did I get you with that?
All right.
I tell everybody all the time, yeah, I was born in Rome.
Well,
It's true. I was born in Rome.
I didn't
I'm
know
a
that.
Georgia peach. Not really, though. I think they moved me when I was 6 weeks old to Montgomery. So I've basically been born and raised in Montgomery.
Yeah.
Good old Montgomery.
Okay. I was a Georgia boy for a while.
Really?
Yep. Yep. Well, all right.
All right.
Cameron Dubois, my friend.
Friends and
singer
family.
extraordinaire.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for watching. If you got this far, I appreciate it. And like I said, BamaSoundMedia.com if you want to know more.
Go check it out.
All right. So long.
See you.